Hello, Sarah from South London Sling Library here. I wanted to talk to you today about using your Stretchy wrap as a breastfeeding aid. This is not jazz hands breastfeeding, this is not a hands-free carry. It's just about using your Stretchy wrap to support a little bit of the baby's weight while you're feeding. It can sometimes give you a hand or a hand and a half free. You can do things like help with the latch, hold the baby's hands out of the way, or perhaps, drink your tea and eat your cake. Other things that are useful to do while the baby is feeding. So let's have a look. So this is a good quality two-way stretchy wrap. This is the Ismi baby wrap. I'm assuming that you already know how to tie and use your stretchy wrap. I will link in the description below to the video that I've already done about tying and using your stretchy wrap, just in case you need it. So I'm going to feed my baby in a traditional cradle style carry, and I'm going to pretend the baby's feeding on my left side. So I'm going to put the baby on my left shoulder. I'm going to take the fabric from my right shoulder, I'm going to stretch it down, and I'm going to take both of baby's feet through that fabric. I can then lay the baby down into that traditional cradle hold and get them latched on. So this fabric is just in the baby's knee pits at the moment. If I want to, I can spread it out. I can do that before or after the baby latches. Whatever's going to be useful is absolutely fine. That fabric goes up between the two of us and creates a little pouch there, so it's fully supporting the baby. It goes from knee pits at least to the top of the baby's nappy, and at most to the nape of their neck, and I can get baby latched on and feeding. I've then got this hand free to either help with the latch, or if I need to use that hand to support the baby and use this hand to help with the latch, I can do that. I can hold this hand out of the way or this hand out of the way, whatever's going to work. It just kind of gives you a little bit of extra flexibility because the wrap is holding the baby's weight. As I said before, this is not a jazz hands carry, this is not jazz hands breastfeeding, because I'm still needing to provide a little bit of support either with that hand or with that hand to support the baby there. I'm going to be extra vigilant about baby's airways in this position. And if the baby falls asleep there, that's absolutely fine. I can leave the baby here, but again, just paying extra attention to their airways, making sure their airways are open at all times, and with the knowledge that I am not completely hands-free. I could, if I wanted to, get the baby out and put them in a good upright position in my stretchy wrap, which would mean then that I would be able to be hands-free. Anyone who's been to the Sling Library, either as a drop-in or to private consultations, knows my obsessions with jazz hands. Any sling or baby carrier, you should feel confident to be able to do jazz hands. As much as what we all want to do is, even when they're in a sling or a baby carrier, is hug our baby. That's absolutely fine, but you should feel confident that you can do jazz hands. If you don't feel confident to do jazz hands, chances are there's something not quite right with your sling or your baby carrier. Just pop down to the Sling Library, drop in session, or book a private consultation, and we can look at what that is and hopefully get you more confident, more comfortable to a point where you feel able to do jazz hands. If your baby is not a fan of feeding in the cradle position and prefers perhaps to feed in an upright position, that's doable too. So what I'm going to do to feed in an upright position, so let's say I'm going to feed my baby on my right side in an upright position. I'm going to hold my baby fairly centrally on my chest. I'm going to take the fabric from my right shoulder. I'm going to pop it between baby's legs. I'm then going to pull from behind me to create some slack. And I'm going to drop baby down to boob height. Excuse me, baby, I need a bit more slack. My boobs aren't where they used to be. So drop baby down to breast height, and I can spread that fabric out so that it goes from knee pit to knee pit. A bit more slack, sorry baby. And I can support the baby there. Again, this isn't a jazz hands breastfeeding hold. I am still going to need to provide a little bit of support, possibly around the back of the neck, particularly while baby's young. As they get older and they can latch on and off by themselves, then it's perfectly doable. But while they're young, you're absolutely not going to be hands-free. So I can support the baby in that position. If baby's finished feeding, they've fallen asleep, personally I feel like this needs a lot more holding than the cradle position. But if I'm happy to do that, then that's absolutely fine, paying extra attention of course to their airways. Or I can get baby into a good upright position, redistribute some of that slack that I created by getting them down to boob height, and then put them in my stretchy wrap in the way that you would normally do. So I hope that helps. If you would like some more practical hands-on help with breastfeeding in your sling or carrier, and most slings or carrier can support the baby's weight while you're feeding. There are very few where you can't. The ones where you can't tend to have a separate parent harness, so they will have a layer between you and baby, so there's like a separate parent harness and then a baby carrier that you attach to them. They can be a little bit more awkward. Feeding in carriers does depend on your anatomy and baby's preferences, but it's absolutely possible to take some of baby's weight while you're feeding. So yeah, if you'd like some more hands-on help, then you can come along to some of our drop-in sessions. We've got drop-in sessions in Catford and Crystal Palace, or you can come to a workshop or a private consultation in Lewisham. We're also doing private consultations and workshops in Crystal Palace. So yeah, have a look at the website. You can book any availability through the website, and I hope to see you soon. I hope that helps. Bye.